Yo, what's happening, folks? It's UNHOST here, and today we've got another rendition of 120 facts. And today we're going to do 120 changes in 1.4 Part 1. Now there's a lot of changes. There was way more than there was in 1.3, so that's why I'm doing a two-part series. So, hope you guys enjoy, pay attention, and have fun.
Let's do some learning this fine Halloween.
When sheep are spawned from a spawn egg, they now have the chance to spawn as pink, light gray, gray, black, and brown, as well as the original white. Slimes now have the ability to spawn above ground, only in swamp biomes. This makes it a little bit easier for you to get slime balls. When a saddled pig is killed, it'll now drop its saddle. They can also travel up to 5 meters per second. Villagers now basically have emotions. They can get mad at you, and you'll see that, or they'll love you long time. If you do happen to pick on one testificate enough, or several of them, the whole village will turn mad with you, and they may send their iron golems for you.
Come at me, bro.
A lot of the villager trades were actually mostly nerfed or slightly changed, just to prevent mass farming and some exploits. The villager trade GUI has also changed, in the fact that it's a little harder to exploit, and supposedly impossible to exploit. Psst, you still can. There's now code that exists in the game that make third-party programs able to spawn baby zombie pigmen. Although it's a small chance, zombie pigmen can spawn with enchanted golden swords, an even smaller chance that they actually drop that enchanted sword. Also, very rarely, depending on the difficulty, zombie pigmen will spawn with the ability to pick up armor, headwear, items, blocks, weapons, and other tools, much like some other mobs we'll talk about later in the video, but the items that do pick up have a 100% chance of dropping when they die. Using a program like MCEdit, you can now make custom spawners to where you can have the zombie pigmen or any other mob that can pick up and wear items naturally spawn with that out of the spawner. The armor that the mobs are wearing actually do give them legitimate armor points. Same goes for weapons and damage, etc., etc. All the same rules apply for skeletons as well. If you do throw a sword or some type of melee weapon at them, they will drop their bow indeed and actually wield the sword. Another thing that is different is if they are wearing a helmet or a headpiece, they will not burn up by the sun. Much like the zombie pigmen, the skeletons actually have a small chance to wield an enchanted bow. There's a very small chance that they would drop it, and an even smaller chance that that bow is fully repaired. Playing on easy or normal, it's very rare that you're going to see a fully armored mob. So, obviously, if you're playing on hard mode, you've got a bigger chance for the mobs to spawn with armor, as well as drop them, as well as them being good items. Now, I think quite obviously, the same rules mostly apply for zombies. And of course, the same thing goes for the zombie villager, although it's just a little rarer to actually find and see a zombie villager that's able to pick up the items. Aside from the usual zombie drops, they can now drop potatoes and carrots as well. They can also very rarely be seen wielding an iron shovel or an iron sword. There's a chance that it will be fully repaired when it drops. Although a villager can usually outrun zombies and zombie villagers, on hard mode there is a 100% infection rate, on normal difficulty there is a 50% infection rate, and on easy difficulty it is impossible to be infected. Basically what this means is they just turn into villager zombies. If you feed a regular golden apple to a zombie villager that's under the influence of a weakness potion, you'll hear that noise, he'll start to shake, and it'll take about 5 minutes, but he will turn right back into a villager. Just like the zombie pigmen, the regular zombies actually have code in the game for baby zombies to exist, although obviously it's impossible to get in vanilla, survival, or creative. Zombies attack when they have something in their hands, looks much like the iron golem fist pump. Oh man. Although some mobs do spawn with armor, that doesn't mean that they can actually pick something up. It's a completely different ability. Now here's something pretty cool that I found out about while doing some testing right here, and I can't find this on the wiki anywhere, but they will upgrade their sword if it's on the ground, dropped as an item. So we went from wood to stone, from stone to iron, and just to prove it to you, I will throw some stone down, and he won't pick that sword up, as you guys can tell. But we'll throw the diamond up, and it'll upgrade to it. There we go. That's pretty neat. Unfortunately, the gold sword is so bad that they won't even pick it up if they had a wood in their hand, a wood sword. but it's so shiny. If a baby villager gets attacked by a zombie, turns into a baby zombie. Look at that. What are the chances? Little cute guy. Oh, he's got the little growl too. It's my first time doing it. What a cutie. Another couple of interesting facts about the baby zombies and the baby zombie villagers is that they are 50% faster than the regular zombie, they don't age, and they don't burn up in the sunlight, and all of them can wear armor. Creepers can now have custom explosion radiuses, meaning you can make them smaller or bigger, more intense, and the fuse timers can be shortened or lengthened with NBT edit. When creepers hit the ground after falling, they will automatically start charging and blow up. Iron golems will now attack any hostile mob at random, including creepers, anything dangerous, they're fine with it. They've also received a couple more boosts. Oh, got him. Y'all ready for this? It's war. These guys ain't playing around. Woo! Woo-wee! Hey Jeff, you okay? We could talk about it, man. What's up? No, you can talk to me. It's okay. Bro, come on. It's okay. Ah, come on. Hey, don't get pushy with me. It's okay, buddy. Poor Jeff. Iron golems will also jump down from a tall height and take damage depending on the difficulty. If it's on hard, they'll take more damage. Easy, they'll take less. Either a aggressive Steve or a hostile mob. We'll never forget. The dog collars can now be dyed by right-clicking the dye on the dog. These cute little buggers are added to the game. Of course, they're bats, and they're the game's first ambient mob, basically meaning they don't do anything, and they can be spawned when you're on peaceful. They do not trigger pressure plates or tripwires, so that's pretty good. They sleep during the day, and they spawn in dark caves. They hang on the ceiling when they're idle, and when a player comes near, they usually scatter. Also, witches were added to the game around the same time the bats were added, and they are a hostile mob if you get within proximity. If you look really closely, it's got a little wart on its nose, and the nose wiggles every once in a while. Now, so far, as of Halloween 2012, they spawn in these little jungle wood homes, and they're very, very rare, and they're only in swamps. Now, they usually only attack the player, but in some cases, if their splash potions do actually hit each other, then they will attack each other. As you can see, they throw Potion of Weakness. Ouch, that kinda hurts. Potion of Slowness, and Potion of Poisoning. So, you guys can see. So far we're only poisoned. And we're dead. Killed by a witch. Awesome. If you did put a bunch of witches like this in a mosh pit, just like I did, they would never kill themselves because they drink regeneration potions, as well as health potions. So, they can regenerate their health infinitely, basically. These crazy ladies right here will drop sticks, glowstone, redstone, gunpowder, sugar spider eyes, empty bottles, water bottles, and possibly the potion that it's holding. So there's a pretty rare chance, but it can happen. And they also drink fire resistance potions, so it's not very easy to kill them with either lava or fire. Well, alright guys, that's 50 facts. You ready for another 70 more? Let's help these ladies kill themselves. Gotta celebrate. There we go. Very nice. Alright, so now we're going to talk about one of my favorite additions, which is the addition of the Wither Skeleton. Now they've got the stone swords, and they'll give you the Wither effect, which basically turns your hearts black. We'll show you that in just a minute. You can spawn them from the eggs here. It's Halloween, so they've got the little pumpkins on, so don't mind that if you're watching it after Halloween. There's actually a 10% chance that you're going to spawn these guys from the eggs. It seems like a little bit more, so yeah, a lot more. Now as you can see here, they're about almost a half a block taller than the regular skeletons, but their hitbox is just as high. They have a very rare chance of dropping these Wither Skulls, which are important for something we'll get into a little bit later, but you can affect your drop rates with a looting sword. Aside from rarely dropping the Wither Skulls, they also drop coal and bones. So the only place that you're going to be able to find these guys is actually in nether fortresses. They're not just randomly spread throughout the nether. Now I'll show you guys an example of what the wither effect looks like. There we go. I am petrified. Jesus! Yeah, and as you guys can see, they've got that same little raise the roof technique. Pretty cool, guys. Let's do it. Jump, 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 jump. Now the same thing goes for these as they do with the zombie pigman, the zombie, and the skeleton. They can wear your armor, they can wear your face, all that. It's pretty spooky. Now, judging on my personal experience, I've actually got a video on this if you guys want to look it up. I've got a facts video all about wither skeletons, but beside the point, they seem to drop the stone sword with full durability more often than not. But again, that's just personal experience. So once you spend the absolutely ridiculous amount of time it takes to get these wither skulls, you're going to want to get 4 pieces of soul sand, make a tea, and we will make a wither. These are the new boss mob, and it's the only way they can basically be generated. Now these guys have a lot of different stuff about them, so we'll go over it real quick. As you can see, they attack anything in sight, anything that moves, be it hostile or non. It's probably also one of the fastest mobs. It's almost impossible to get away from it. It'll pretty much always be following you, even if you're sprinting and have speed potions. Now once they start feeling kind of trapped, their projectiles and their little explosion radius can actually break obsidian. The only thing it can't break is, well, bedrock. So Mojang wanted to make these as hard as possible to farm, and if you even put it in a little bunker like this, I guess you could say, and try to just trap it in there and kill it, it might not happen, because you're going to get this initial boom right here. That's not going to destroy any of this, but his hitbox is only 1 wide and 1 long, so he can fit through the top of there. Do hit him, yeah, break obsidian. So that's a pretty good job of Mojang's part, but there are ways around it, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what you're gonna get when you got people that think outside the box. Now once you get him down to about halfway, a little bit below halfway, he'll start to have this regeneration shield, and it's harder to do damage. He will no longer take arrow damage, so you cannot shoot him with an arrow. It will not do anything. There actually is a lot of stuff about these guys, so you guys can go check out the wiki page and find out a little bit more for yourself. But just to wrap up on the important things, once you kill them, they will drop a nether star. Yeah, there we go. Now this is important for making beacons. Now if I were not in creative mode, I would have the Wither 2 effect, so it's a little more intense than the ones that the Wither Skeletons give us. And they actually have 2 kinds of projectiles. The one projectile is the blue skulls, which are the ones that are doing this damage, the structural damage. And they got the black skulls, the ones that they fire at the players and the, you know, innocent bystanders, I guess you could say. Now even though the sun is pretty much at noon, I mean, basically, the sky is a little bit darkened, so that's an effect of the Wither. Okay, so I will get to talking about the beacons a little bit later, but what I want to talk about now is the fact that you can dye leather armor. It's not anything else, and it actually leaves a little bit of leather behind on most of the stuff. As you can see on the pants, we've got a little chocolate on our knees, and yeah, I'll just kind of show you how to do this. So basically you just put it in the crafting grid. There is actually, let me read this, 16.7 million different styles, different colors that you can actually do, because you can combine them like this. It's not going to tell you the color, but like you can see, we can, take things out, put them back in, and we get a nice pair of green shoes. So you can only do one color if you want, just whatever you need to do. Now if you just do the singular colors, they're going to be a little bit more vibrant and all that. So, and then you can see on the cap we got the little brown streak, I guess you could call it. Now I've been told the reason that Mojang did this was basically because people were dyeing armor that looked just like the diamond armor, and people were dyeing different things like iron and gold, and it looked just like it. So they wanted a way to differentiate the two. Now say you're really strapped for leather and all that, and you want to get rid of the color, or just, came out really bad. Got my pinks mixed up. all you have to do is right click it on a cauldron with some water in it. So, moving right along, the next thing we've got on the list is the empty maps. Now, they used to be different, they used to be just the regular maps, but now you can have it in your hand, and all you have to do is right-click it, and it'll basically generate what you've got in front of you in that little chunk area. There we go. Now, these start out very, very zoomed in, so if you actually want to kind of zoom out, get a better view, just get you 8 pieces of paper, come up to a crafting table, throw the paper around it, and it's going to zoom out a little bit. So there you go. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, so as you guys can see, we were zoomed out a little bit. We got to explore all the other places, but now you can see that we've got that village over there. It's a lot more colors too. The map's got a lot more colorful. Now, something else that was added with maps is if you go a little bit outside, you are going to appear as a circle. So basically, you're just somewhere out there. Also, instead of the maps being very random, they are on a consistent grid, so it does go by the chunks now. Also, something else pretty neat is if there were anybody in this server right now, they would show up as dots as well. So, here's another one for NBT Edit. If you've got NBT Edit, you can go into the potions effects and actually add multiple effects and multiple levels. And we also got the sweet invisibility potions. Now let me F5 real quick. Now obviously it's not going to get rid of your armor, but boop. There we go. Now in the middle it used to not get rid of capes, but yeah, I do have my cape on and it's not showing up, so that's pretty cool. But if we get rid of everything, we are completely invisible aside from what's in our hand and the little particle effects. So if you walk up upon somebody and they've got their particle effects off, yep, you better troll them. Alright, so now we are in survival with a creeper egg in our hand. That can't be good. So let's put that down. Now he cannot see us. I am in survival mode, as you can see. But if we attack him, he will see us, basically. Or if we just walk into him. Yep, just like that. So the way to brew these potions is to take a potion of night vision, which is a golden carrot. Take that and put a fermented spider eye in it and brew it. Alright, so here's something that's pretty cool as well. If you do make these go invisible, hey, jockey, you can still see their eyes, as you guys can see. So the eyes are glowing, so the same thing goes for Enderman and Blazes. You guys can check them out yourself, it just looks so cool. So, also I've got to show you the sheep as well. Ha! So next up, we got the night vision potion. Now I want to kind of show you guys what this does. If we're in the nether, you get a pretty good sight, but go ahead and check this out. Everything becomes bright red. You can basically just see everything so much clearer. And when we go under the lava, well, I've got my Optifine on. So we'll come over here to the real world and we'll splash ourselves with one of these. What a fail. There we go. Check that out. You can just see so much clearer through the water. That's just great. Look at all the little slammies. So, now we've got a scrumptious pumpkin pie here, guys, and the way we craft it, it is a shapeless recipe, meaning you can put it anywhere in the crafting grid and it'll still craft. You need a pumpkin, an egg, and some sugar. And these heal 4 hunger. So now let's talk about the carrots. So basically, it's kind of like the wheat. You can basically just go over here, plant them in the ground, put some bone meal on them, and dig them up. Don't dig them up in creative. That's not a good idea. You're probably going to lose them all. But they do, in fact, yield 2 to 4 carrots at a time. Thanks, Rain. I'm filming. You jerk. And looting does affect them. I said looting, but I meant fortune. Okay, so we talked about the night vision potion and how it needed a golden carrot. Well, this is how you craft one. You're going to get 8 of these little gold teeth, and you're going to put a carrot in the middle. That's going to heal 3 hunger, the golden carrot, and the other heals 2. It's got a decent saturation, but it's not the best, of course. Hey, Mr. Chicken, we're finally at 100 facts. Can you believe it? No, me neither, man. Well, I tell you what, I sure am glad you guys are sticking with me. We got 20 more facts to go. I think you guys can handle it. Why are you still here? So I think it may be a little bit obvious, but the next thing we're going to talk about is the potatoes, also the baked potatoes and the poisonous potatoes. So you can go ahead and plant these over here. Same thing, bone meal works on them. But listen up. The fortune, got it right this time. The fortune effect does not affect potatoes. They do affect the carrots though. So we'll go ahead over here and grow them to the full potential. Now these will harvest 1 to 4, always. And a rare chance to drop a poisonous potato, which is completely useless unless you want to skip them across the sea. Forever alone. So alright guys, the regular potatoes, they do 0.5 hunger, so they're not that great. The poisonous potatoes will give you 1 hunger and a chance to poison you, pretty good chance. A baked potato, basically just bake it in the oven with a piece of coal or charcoal or a jukebox, whatever you feel like cooking it with, and it gives you 3 points. And it's got a pretty good saturation level, so start eating baked potatoes. Now I know I told you guys that the wither skeletons are probably one of my favorite additions, but this one right here made me jump out of the water like a mermaid on mushrooms. Watch this. That's right, flame arrows. Igniting TNT. That's real life. That just happened. You know, I just don't know what to choose, because this one is just my favorite as well. This is a carrot on a stick, and basically it's kind of used just as an orientation for your pig on where to go. So, my guy's not behaving too well. There we go. Now, if you right-click it, you can go a little bit quicker. And if you are in survival mode, it will basically take your carrot on a stick. It has like a life. I think you can only right-click it 5 times, maybe? Sounds about right. But yeah, you can definitely go really, really quick. And, oh, we got a new village over here. Let's go. Land ho! But also a new great addition is Dinnerbone actually made it so all the non-hostile mobs can actually be affected by potions. So we can give little Runt here, we can give him a speed potion, and he'll be flying. I'm telling you what. Oh man, we're going so fast, my cape's about to fly off and choke me to death. Woo!
Yeah, buddy.
So if you want to make a carrot on a stick for yourself, all you gotta do is come over here, make a fishing pole, like so. Put it right here, the fishing rod, and you got a carrot on a stick. It's gotta be a diagonal, one or the other. Diagonal, yes, I did say that. It's diagonal. And supposedly the pig actually eats it, and you get your fishing pole back whenever you use it for 5 or however many uses it takes. So during the time they were working on the snapshots for 1.4, I guess that Mojang couldn't really decide whether to nerf fire or not nerf fire. But it turned out that yeah, we definitely got it nerfed again. So you don't have to worry about all your stuff burning down too quickly. But after doing some testing and stuff, normal and easy and peaceful difficulties, they're all pretty slow spreading, and, well, this is fast, so as you guys can see, it's not too fast, but it gets the job done, I guess you could say, if you're an arsonist. I'm just finding this one out, but I guess the sapling size was decreased. Let's just take a look at them, I guess. You know what? They look massive. It says they're decreased. I'm going to go with whatever it says. The crafting recipe for buttons changed, so it's just 1 for 1. And we also got these wooden buttons right here, and they can be fired on with a bow and arrow and actually activate them. The buttons, I guess you could say the length of time that it stays active when it's just pressed is 0.2 seconds longer than it used to be. Also, the lovely trap doors, they can be implemented up or down, so you can put it however you'd like, and they kind of close the same if they're on the same block. And to wrap it all up, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the heads here. So, in NBT Edit, you can actually go in and make your own head. You replace it with the Steve head and actually just name it your name. If you want more details, you guys can search it up. And the only one you can get naturally is the Wither Skeleton skull. Unfortunately, Dinnerbone, if you are watching, can we please have these in survival? That's all I'm asking. I don't want anything else. I swear, I don't want anything else. That's all I want. Just these heads, man. That's all I want. PvP, you know, that could be nice. But yeah, anyways, back on topic. You can actually wear each and every one of these, put them on your head, like so. And if you have any kind of hat or any kind of facial hair or anything that sticks out, it will be out on the outside. So if you get like a beard, 3-2, then yeah, it looks really cool. Check this out. I'm Steve. Whoop, whoop. They also have 16 different orientations. So you can do like a little twist. I'll do a little twist there. Another twist. Yeah, so you guys can see there's a lot of ways that you can twist and turn them, so it's actually really cool. You can do some Vlad the Impaler type stuff, like this. Pretty scary. Well, alright guys, that's all I've got for now. That was 120 facts. We've got 120 more to go over. Either tomorrow or the next day I'll be releasing them. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. Hey, Bat. But yeah, I really enjoy these things. They take a while to make, so just hear me out there. If there's anything that I missed, got wrong, anything like that, anything that's changed, I'll put it in the description. Leave a comment or something, you know, if you got any feedback, that'd be great. I do appreciate y'all coming by. I love you guys so much.
You better watch part 2.
Happy Halloween, guys. Adios.